need like a holder for my phone. Okay, we are on chapter 4. What makes you money? And I am going to open up, sorry, people on Instagram. Cool. 3, 2, 1. What makes you money? Hi, Facebook. Hi, Instagram. Thank you for following me. We are on section 2 of Zero to Diamond, Become a $1 million real estate agent, and the actions of top producing real estate agents. What makes you money? Chapter 4. Specifically, beyond the general ideas already mentioned, what is the number one activity that makes you money as an agent? Closings. I can guarantee that nothing you do makes you more money as a real estate agent than having closings. Do you agree? As stated in the first chapter, closings are the most consistent thing that happen in the universe. Maybe that's an overstatement, but if you watch local and national MLS listings year after year, there is not a single day without a closing. Even in the worst of years for real estate, there were still closings every day. It makes me laugh when I hear people say that real estate is not consistent. They just don't realize how consistent real estate really is. Real estate has no more ups and downs than any other business. Take Walmart, for example. Some days Walmart sells more than on other days, but no one would say Walmart is inconsistent. The Walton family is consistently making tons of money regardless of daily ups and downs in gross sales. In the realty business, we face tough competition and a steep learning curve, so it's not easy to get started, but it is still consistently a profitable business. People assume it's not consistent because most realtors don't succeed and must go back to a so-called regular paycheck. The only thing consistent about most folks' paychecks is that they never increase beyond meager cost of living raises. A consistently bad paycheck is still a bad paycheck. Real estate can be and should be more profitable and more consistent than a 9-to-5 job. Most jobs are not truly consistent. You can get fired or laid off from a regular job at any time. Look at me, for example. I got fired. In some businesses, employee turnover is over 50% per year. Is that consistent? In real estate, you are your own boss. You make all your executive decisions. Are you going to fire yourself? I hope not. No. Are you going to give yourself a fat pay raise? You can. If you can add action to the principles in this book, you will have consistent closings throughout the ups and downs of any market. That will result in a fat pay raise. This is freedom. This business provides an opportunity to be free of the consistent salary limit found in most jobs. So how do we break through the stereotype and claim our share of the closings that are happening each day? The answer is easier than most people realize. Real estate is fun when you have consistent closings. Once you reach that point in your career, your life gets noticeably better and easier. To find the secret of having consistent closings, let's look at the step-by-step process of a closing. From finding prospects to closings, the process. First, you must find a potential prospect and have an intimate conversation with them about their real estate needs and goals. Second, you must follow up with them through an appointment or phone call. Then, when they are ready, you must convert that prospect into a client through a listing or purchase agreement. After that, you negotiate the deal and finally process and close the transaction. Got it? Let's list the steps. Number 1, find prospects. Number 2, follow up via call, appointment, relationship. Number 3, conversion, client contract. Number 4, negotiate a deal. Number 5, process and close the deal. All real estate transactions in the history of mankind have been created and closed via the same process. It is the not-so-secret formula that leads to every closing. Now, how do we insert ourselves successfully into as many of these equations as possible? Well, per formula, begin with the first step, finding a prospect. This is both the first and the most important part of the equation. Without this step, the process stops right then and there. Thus, as a realtor, this must be your most important priority every day. How do I find more prospects? Every agent has a different way of finding new prospects. There are hundreds of different ways to do this. The trick is to pick what works for you. I suggest trying methods that are working for others until you find success. Success in finding prospects consists of two things. Make sure you're finding the best quality prospects and that you're finding enough quantity of prospects. This is another sentence you should write down, post and review from time to time, and take note that quality comes before quantity. Most agents get stuck in low producing mold because they start finding prospects and think they're on the right track. They settle. They forget that they are on a different level of quality when it comes to prospects. As I've mentioned, we want the highest quality prospects we can find. This saves us time and allows us to make more money. Be wary of low quality prospects. They will eat your career away before you even know it by burning too much of your time. Did a cat just jump through the window? And that's why my window's up right now. And take note that quality comes before quantity. Most agents get stuck in a low producing mode because they start finding prospects and think that they're on the right track. They settle. They forget there are different levels of quality when it comes to prospects. As I've mentioned, we want the highest quality prospects we can find. This saves us time and allows us to make more money. Be wary of low quality prospects. They will eat your career before you can even know it by burning too much of your time. You listening? Using the method that enables you to find the right number of prospects is also key to achieving a high sales goal. This is where thinking big comes into play. Make sure you're working on projects that will yield hundreds, even thousands of prospects over the long haul while targeting the highest quality prospects. Of the many ways to find prospects, it makes sense for me to share with you the tools I use myself. Tools I've proven can help you become the highest producer in your market. Of course, I get business from all kinds of sources and tools. Random deals come through referrals, signed calls, friends, repeat business, and even sheer luck. However, I don't focus on any other method of finding prospects except for what I'm about to share. You may have heard this before, but I'm telling you, hi Ariana, how are you? You may have heard this before, but I'm telling you from firsthand experience that this is the most effective way to find the highest quality prospects within any market. Discover and claim your place in the market. First, you must decide your niche in the market. Some agents sell primary homes, others sell commercial properties, while others sell vacation and second homes. There are even agents who only sell properties in a particular subdivision or condominium complex. Whatever your niche is to be, you must decide. You can't be the master of all niches, though. This is for certain. My niche is beachfront condos on the Gulf of Mexico, but that doesn't mean I haven't sold residential apartment complexes or single-family homes. If a deal comes your way and it makes financial sense to spend time on it, absolutely take it, even if the property doesn't fit the exact criteria of your niche. The point is to concentrate on the type a property that you feel will bring the best return, because on the area in which you can enjoy to be a specialist. Ideally, your place in the market will not be oversaturated. It will be an area or type of real estate that has room for you, but don't be afraid of competition. It is unlikely that you will find any niche where someone else has not already staked a claim. Competition is everywhere. It is unavoidable. Steve Jobs did not invent the computer and cell phone industries. Many others were making and selling computers and phones long before he did, but Jobs did not give up and say, others beat me to it, so I won't make Macs and iPhones. He just worked harder and smarter and with some creativity, and now Apple is the richest corporation on earth. How do you find your niche? Look around. I suggest talking to other agents and researching supply and demand of different properties in your market. Look for properties that have a good average sales price and frequent turnover. Research online. Use word of mouth. Do in-person tours. Drive around your region with eyes open and an open mind. Pick out your niche and start communicating with buyers and sellers in the market immediately, today. For example, if you decide you want to start selling houses in a subdivision after researching the market, all recent listings and sales, the next step is to start communicating with others in that subdivision. Send them letters and postcards. Call them. Make contact. The sooner you make the contact, the sooner your relationship will begin, and the quicker you will make deals happen. Follow up with ones with whom you have a good connection. Become their friend. Over time, their friendships will turn into closings and referrals. Run ads in your local paper and real estate magazine booklets, seeking buyers of the type of property you picked. The point is to select what type of property you want to sell and start contacting people right now. Don't waste any time. Later, we will discuss in more detail what to say to these owners when you call them, but for now, I just want you to accept the key principles. Select your niche and immediately start making contacts. First, we want to discover all we can before we make contact. When did they buy the property? How much did they pay? Is there a mortgage? Do they live there, or is this an investment or second home, etc.? Then, as you eventually talk to them, take good notes on how the conversation went and what was talked about. The goal is to talk to as many of owners you can just to find out if there is a connection between you and them, if there's anything you can do for them right now, and if it's okay to stay in touch via email about the market. Many agents make contact and try to push the prospect to a deal on the first call. This is not my strategy. I want to have a conversation to find out if I connect with the prospect. If I do, then the relationship has begun and I will stay in close contact with them forever. If not, then no harm, no foul. I will still send them postcards and letters. You never know if they will come back around to you later. Honestly, I will mostly focus on the ones with whom I had a good connection and an enjoyable conversation. When you add a new farm group of owners to your database, the plan is long term. You will send this group mailouts every 6 weeks. Forever. 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 Consistency is the key to everything, even mailouts. Since every group of owners that I add to my master list will be in the same niche market, I can send them all the same mailouts. Occasionally, I will send a special mailout designed specifically for certain groups, but most of the time I send the same postcard or letter to all of them. It's more time efficient. As a side note, every time I list or sell a property, I do send a postcard out to the other owners in the same area, whether they are in my farm group or not. Once you pick your niche within the market, that you want to focus on and become a specialist, it's time to begin work. Immediately start designing a mailing beginning with 50 to 100 addresses. At the same time, begin making phone calls. After you've exhausted calling every phone number you can find, it's time to add more to the list. Little by little, you grow the database of owners, mailing to as many as you can afford every 6 weeks until you get to the number of people you feel will eventually push you to the top. The number will be in the several thousands, but start small and build your way up slowly. Only add more owners after you've called every single number you can find on the last group you've added. The process will take years, but in the process, slowly and surely, you will build the foundation of a huge business that will never be fazed by market downturns. You will have such a great base of relationships with property owners that nothing will bring you down. The big difference in this and other methods is that the following up with the mail-outs and phone calls, you talk to future clients to make a connection from the beginning, which is far more effective than just sending mail and wondering if you might connect. Phone calls, absolutely positively essential. By calling these owners instead of waiting on them to call you, which rarely happens, you will find that some owners are ready to buy and sell right away. This gives you an opportunity to represent them as the real estate agent immediately. If you are not making calls along with your mailouts, you are missing out on tons of business. This is where consistent closings, repeat business, and loads of referrals live. Hey, if it's worth building, it's worth building right. Most agents will not make the calls and therefore will not do the business. They think that sending mail is enough. If you're sending mail without a follow-up phone call, chances are just about as good as you finding business if you never send the mail in the first place. Seriously, without the calls, you're toast. Here's another secret. Most people don't like to make phone calls. We could examine the various psychological reasons behind that, but it's a waste of time to diagnose the problem because I already have the cure. Just do it. Or just hire it out. If you're interested in hiring out your cold calls, DM me. Because some of us are introverts, Ricky. This is one part where I don't agree with this book. Some of us are introverts and we don't want to make the calls, and you can hire that out. You can call anybody. And as long as you're not soliciting, you're just, taking a survey, it's fine. And you don't have to do it all. That's the part that I would change in this book. If it was like I wrote it, that's the part that I would change. So I agree with 99% of this, but that's one part I do not agree with. just hire it out. That's how I would literally just take a pen and just be like, just hire it out. Just hire it out. I want 5 cold callers. When I left the Alexis McGee group, I said to myself, one day I'm going to have 5 callers. Because think about how many people I can talk to and do business and do social media and have my cat jump through the window. Or I could leverage myself and hire multiple cold callers, and let's see how that goes. That's what I got to say about that. I just hit my nose. If it were easy, everyone would do it. It's not easy, but making the effort to make regular phone calls is worth it. Make the sacrifice and get to work, and don't waste time with rationalization, fooling yourself into thinking it's easier and faster just to send emails and postcards. Hire a cold caller today. Now that you know the most effective way to find the highest quality prospects in your market, it's time to capitalize on this breakthrough. One important fact I want you to know is that this method precedes an unlimited number of prospects. These are the highest quality prospects produced at an unlimited rate. Trust me, there's no way anyone could possibly contact every single property owner in the market. I will try to contact everyone in Sacramento. Therefore, new prospects are always out there for you, so capitalize on this. Okay, you are committed for the long term. You have chosen your niche. You have now completed your mailouts. You call every single owner you can find and took notes on those conversations. You made great conversations. Some owners you talked with indicated that they want to be interested in buying or selling soon. Now what? This is your opportunity to ask for an appointment to meet and discuss the situation further. Or if you are not local, call them and talk in depth about their plans and email them the specific information they need in order to make a decision. If they are looking to buy, email them a list of properties that fit their criteria. If they're thinking of selling, ask to see the property so that way you can make a fair assessment of what property might sell for. And consider if the property might interest your buying clients. Follow up and take these situations as far as you can until they either tell you that they are ready to move forward or not. If not, back off, but stay in touch. Remember, stay low pressure. Developing a relationship using these opportunities to demonstrate your professionalism. If you treat them well when they were merely inquiring, they will come back to you when they decide to take the next step. Follow each prospect down the path of their choice. If they are contacting the number of prospects that you should be, and do as I am telling you here, you will start to have plenty of activity and transactions will follow. Fill up your pipeline of relationships with property owners and you won't have to worry about 1 or 2 deals. Once the prospect decides to pull the trigger to either put the property on the market or make an offer on the property, it's time to convert them into a client via a written contract. At some point, the prospect either tells you that they're ready or gives you the signal that they're ready. Sometimes when you see the correct signals, you might ask for business before they will admit they are ready. These signals are different for everyone. Becoming good at catching the signal of a prospect ready to pull the trigger comes from repeated experience with buyers and sellers. So get out in the market and start gaining experience. While prospecting and meeting with buyers and sellers, watch for the trigger signals and be ready to ask for the business at the right time. The 2 questions I use are simple. Are you ready to put it on the market, or are we ready to make an offer? Again, do not force it. Wait for the right opportunity. The longevity of the relationships and years of business and referrals are far more important than trying to force a quick deal. Be mindful of this. The reason the system of talking to property owners and staying low pressure works so well is that these people are the heart of the market in unlimited numbers. You are aiming at the heart of the market. Contacting as many as you can. This enables you to create as much business as you can handle at any given time. If you become overwhelmed with business, you can cut back on prospecting. Later, if things begin to slow down and you need more business, just pick up the phone and start creating more business until you are loaded up again. This system keeps you busy while putting you in the best possible position possible with the people in the market who matter most to your success. Buyers versus sellers. Let's talk about pursuing listings on sellers versus buyers. You must have listings to be highly successful. Listings are an agent's lifeline. Look at the top producers in the country. These agents are primary listing agents. For years, many ratio has been 80% sellers and 20% buyers. And the way this process plays out, buyers will come from your efforts to list property. It may seem obvious that people who have just sold a piece of property will be likely to be looking to buy soon, but more emphasis on marketing to find listings than to find buyers. Because the buyers come more naturally. An owner eventually wants to buy, or a buyer finds your listing and calls you. If you happen to focus upon becoming a buyer's agent, that's okay. You might make a good living. However, only the agents who have a large inventory of well-priced listings will be at the top of the food chain in any given market. With a large inventory of good listings, you can go find more listings while other realtors or buyer agents show and sell your current listings. It gives you an opportunity to multiply your time among a plethora of properties instead of spending most of your time just working on one or two. I work with buyers all the time, and I pick and choose the ones I want to work with. I always work with referrals and repeat clients, regardless of the situation, for the sake of maintaining relationships. Relationships trump everything. So at the end of the day, focus on obtaining listings and take what buyers come from those efforts. This is your most effective strategy. I love the opportunity to help any owner buy another property. When I work with a current owner that is planning to purchase, that gives me a great opportunity to show them how professional I am through the process of helping someone buy a property. This in turn instills confidence in them about my abilities to be their listing agent when the time comes for them to sell. This way, I am planting seeds for multiple deals with the same client. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game. You will connect successfully with a percentage of people you contact. Regardless of your skill level, the agent that contacts the most prospects wins. You win the game. Okay. Workout bands. You guys seen these? These are on shopgenstore.com. This one's extra heavy because you gotta start working out. This one a little bit lighter. Bands, they're just resistance bands. It's a pack of 5. Check them out. See if you need them. Oh, this one's super light. Bye, guys.